After decades-long domination of Marvel and DC, the future of superhero shows was at risk. They just weren't hitting like they used to, and popularity was fading fast. People were starting to feel superhero fatigue, like every new movie or show was just a recycled version of the last.
It's just the same formula every fucking time.
Until a new show one very few had even heard about came out. A show that, alongside The Boys, revived superheroes but in its own way. We got complex, realistic characters, storylines, and ideologies that stood apart from the usual generic comics. And people loved it. One of those characters is Invincible himself, Mark Grayson, a teenage boy who at an early age gets the responsibility of saving the world. We've heard a story like that 100 times, but what makes him stand out from others? He's probably the most realistic hero we've ever gotten. While trying to be like Superman and do good, he faces extreme obstacles in life that often knock him down, sometimes to the point where he even questions if the world is worth saving anymore. Unlike other heroes, he doesn't always just bounce back the next day. You actually see him struggle with the weight of his choices. His father, who should have been his biggest role model, turns out to be an evil maniac trying to take control of Earth for the Viltrumite rule. His life turns around instantly, and everything he thought he knew about being a hero changes in one moment. But even with all that, he still chooses to fight for what he believes is right. But the problems don't stop there. We all know the story up to season 4. I won't spoil it for people who haven't read the comics, but it's safe to say there are multiple layers to his character, each new layer being shaped by the trauma he goes through. Unlike most shows where trauma gets brushed aside after one episode, here it sticks with him. It affects the way he thinks, the way he fights, and even the way he treats people he cares about. It even came to a point where he had to break his own no-kill rule, which had a huge negative impact on him mentally. Most heroes make killing look like a one-and-done decision, but with Mark, you see the long-term guilt and pain he carries from it. And it's not just shown once, like it keeps coming back, shaping who he becomes later. We've seen his mental health and willpower drop so badly that he didn't even try to help, while his evil variants were destroying the world. Instead, he chose to be with Eve. Many people would hate him for that, calling it selfish or cowardly, but if we're being realistic, those things tend to happen in our lives too. Sometimes people shut down, even when the world is on fire around them. Losing faith and willpower while everything is falling apart just shows that his character is more dimensional and complex than we're used to seeing in superhero media. There are multiple examples of this throughout the show. One day he's acting like Superman,
You can't just kill people and pretend it's no big deal.
the next like a Viltrumite,
I won't hesitate to kill them.
having trouble choosing what to believe in and making the right decisions while life keeps throwing punches at him. And honestly, that's relatable. How many of us have thought we had it all figured out one day, only to feel completely lost the next? That's the main thing that makes him different from other heroes in my opinion. It feels like we're looking at multiple characters all thrown into one, constantly evolving and clashing within himself. And another thing that makes him stand out is that he actually grows. Most heroes hit their peak pretty early and stay there, but Mark keeps learning, failing, and evolving. You can see him struggling with trust, love, loyalty, and even just figuring out who he is outside of being invincible.
I can't. I just can't. The things I can do. It's too much.
It's messy, it's emotional, and honestly, it feels real. Also, the relationships he has with his friends, family, and teammates aren't just background stuff. They affect his choices and his development constantly. Watching him balance all that while trying to do the right thing makes you actually care about him in a way that a lot of other superhero shows don't always achieve. Like when he lets his personal life bleed into his hero work or vice versa, it feels natural because that's how real life works. Nobody can perfectly separate the two. At the end of the day, what makes Invincible truly different isn't just the fights or the powers, it's the human side of being a hero. The doubts, the mistakes, the growth, and the consequences. It all hits harder because it's not perfect, and it's not predictable. You don't always know if he'll make the right choice, and sometimes he doesn't, which makes him even more interesting. So yeah, that's why I think Invincible stands out from the rest. If you're tired of the same old hero tropes, this show really shakes things up in a way that's exciting, raw, and way more relatable than you'd expect from a superhero story. And if you know someone who hasn't watched it yet, I highly recommend you put the